So as you can see here, what they're doing with this stick, it's actually a massage stick, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to loosen up all their muscles in order to kind of get everything prepped for the rest of the stretch or workouts. So what he's doing is hitting each part of the body. Everyone's just kind of loosening up that tissue and just kind of warming it up. So it's kind of like basically a self-massage.
Out from your hip. Okay, and you can go with your leg a little straighter, and then I go slow and I pull the other direction. Okay? Sometimes not. Sometimes it's better to go a little faster. Okay, it's whatever works for you, whatever feels better.
Stick is, it's a massage stick, and basically what he's trying to do is you can't stretch a muscle if it's tight. You know, you can try to stretch it, but if the tissue's tight, it's not going to make it very effective. So what this stick does, it's basically massaging the tissue, kind of getting blood into the area, and what it's also doing is releasing endorphins. And you know what endorphins do? Basically just makes people happy to be here. You know, so if people feel better at work, it's going to make them work a little bit better and, you know, sustain a more positive attitude. So I think what the stick does, along with loosening up the tissue, makes people want to come, makes people enjoy being here, and they really like it. So what they're trying to do here is they're actually trying to do a couple different things. So what they're trying to do is getting into the kneeling position. Here, they're actually trying to isolate the hip. We kind of went to a regression, meaning we went back to an easier phase instead of doing something like this, because the workers have been working hard and they want something a little bit easier today. But usually what we do is we get them into this position, and what they're doing with their upper body is they're trying to open up the thoracic, meaning a lot of these guys are reaching over, you know, so their posture tends to round. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to loosen that up by doing these rotations, as you can see here. So, trying to hit two things, get the most bang for the buck, and then just trying to work on everything at once.
Forward, okay, and if you can look at my foot, I don't let my foot go flat, I grip the ground, okay? I'm holding at the ground with my foot as I go forward. So I pull, I keep tension, pushing, okay, and my heel is on the ground. I keep my heel's on the ground. Okay?
So what we're doing here now is we're actually working on ankle dorsiflexion. Basically, we're trying to get our ankle to come up like this. A lot of people, they have really tight calves, really tight joints, and everything starts from the ground up. If you have tight calves, you get tight hips, you start to round your back. So what we're really trying to do here is they're basically driving their forward, keeping their foot flat, so they can increase that dorsiflexion range of motion. If we can start to increase that, it's going to help them move a little bit better. It's going to decrease their ankle pain, calf pain, knee pain, because your calf actually passes your knee joint or attaches past your knee. So I mean, it's in a combination of different things, but you have to address everything from the ground up.
So a lot of people talk about how important it is to have a mobile ankle, to get your ankle to move a lot. Okay, but what they underestimate is how important it is to have a big toe that moves really easily. Say, for example, I'm doing a lunge or a split stance. If I can't get my big toe to move, then I'm going to end up doing it like this and letting my foot come way out. That feels terrible for my ankle. But if my big toe can move, then I can get here and able to move. So that's why we'll work ankle mobility for our ankles, but also you want to stay loose right here. Another mobility joint is what we call it. So when you get done with your 15, go ahead right into your 10. When you get done doing 15 for your ankle.
So now what they're doing here is they're actually in the same position that they were before here, but now what they're doing is they're really trying to open up that hip button, driving themselves forward, and then as they come back, now they're opening up that hamstring or the bottom of the leg.
Really quick. As you go
by going
forward,
here. So basically they're coming
think
here,
about taking your hip and driving
coming
it
back. And
down
what that's
to the
doing
ground.
again is just really hitting everything that needs to be loosened up, trying to hit two things at once, trying not to waste time, really keeping it simple. Like ideally we'd be in a situation where we're here, but we want to make sure we progress them slow and not try to get them too fatigued because they have to work for the rest of the day.
Good. Other way, other direction. Va lateral. Good. Okay, now we're going to take our hands, give them just a couple rolls, couple wrist rolls to reset. Now take your hands and spread your fingers. Open your hands up as much as you can. Open, 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 open. Okay, now just relax. Give it a couple of rolls. Open it up.
So now what they're doing is they're working on their hands, their
So
wrists,
doing
their
stop
elbows by
sign.
doing a stretch somewhat like this. We're doing something a little bit different today, but what we usually do is things like this. Also with the stick, we also do some soft tissue work. If they have any sort of medial epicondylitis, lateral epicondylitis, we do a lot of stick work for that. Because you know, a lot of these people, they're painting, they're typing, they're picking things up. So what we really try to address are their hands, their elbows. Because you know, the hand, it's here, but all the muscles that originate from the hand are here. So we're just trying to work on all those different things. And we think the hand is probably the most important things for these people. Because that's all they use, that's all they have. If they don't have their hands, they don't have anything else. So I think if we can help, if we can work on that a little bit more, we'll help prevent any sort of injuries or, you know, any situation where workers' compensation comes into play.